here. Okay, there we go. That looks a lot better. It's a little further back from the camera than I'd like. How we doing, y'all? It is RNN post-race showtime. Tonight we are talking about the doubleheader from Martinsville today, trucks and Xfinity, and what a wild day it was at Martinsville. I tell you what. Hey, Ashton. Hey, Moff. How's it going? So let's talk about Martinsville. I don't know that Hemrick is cursed so much as he just won't do what he needs to do to win races. Start uploading some of my first YouTube videos. Well, good for you, Moff. You've already met Moff, Ashton. That's Moffat Cast with an apparently new channel or new name or something. Gilliland, yes, I think Gilliland actually is cursed. I would believe that. So let's start off. We'll talk about the truck race first, since that happened first, then we'll move into Xfinity. What a championship for. I don't know who had Zane Smith in their championship 4 headed into today. I certainly did not, especially with hey Barney. Especially with how he has run this season. He only had 1 top 5 coming into today, and somehow pulls a win out today and makes his way into the championship 4. Now, who thinks Zane Smith wins the championship from this? No, I'm not at Martinsville. No. I will not be at the track anymore this season. Daytona will, well, probably New Smyrna will be my next race at the track, because New Smyrna probably will happen before Daytona. So, yes, New Smyrna will be the first one. Hey, Dibsland, how's it going? Did I miss anybody here? I did not. Okay. So, yeah, who had Zane Smith in their championship 4? And I want a show of hands who thinks Zane Smith wins the championship now after winning today at Martinsville. Yeah, I think Nemechek definitely is the favorite. I don't know about Ben Rhodes, though. Like, he did win the first 2 races of the season, but he's not really shown up since then. I don't know. I don't put a lot of faith in, hey, Landon, I don't put a lot of faith in Ben Rhodes to actually be able to win the championship. I mean, he didn't even really do anything today. He just ended up 7th. Like, when did we actually talk about Ben Rhodes today in this race? I don't know that we did. I don't know. My money's on John Hunter Nemechek, but he's had a really weird playoffs. So I don't know. I don't know that I would even say it's going to be John Hunter Nemechek, especially after today, after how close he came to missing the championship 4. I don't know, man. I don't know. That I don't know. I don't know about John Hunter Nemechek, because I don't know about this whole championship 4. For anyone that may not be aware, Zane Smith, Matt Crafton, Ben Rhodes, and John Hunter Nemechek are the championship 4 after today at Martinsville for the Truck Series. No challenges tomorrow, but there will be a stream tomorrow. Not gonna say just yet what it is, but there will be a stream tomorrow on the personal channel. But it will not be challenges. That is true. Nemechek did get wrecked. I don't know, though. That's the thing, and that's kind of the problem with this type of format. Is that's just what it ends up coming down to is one race, and let's say he gets wrecked at Phoenix too. No, it's definitely not SRX. We are never going back to SRX. No, he really shouldn't have been that close. Almost won Phoenix in the 8 truck. That's true. You're correct. You're not wrong. I'm not sure how his luck's gonna hold out. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time Crafton's won the championship, and didn't he actually win a race this year? I swear I remember Matt Crafton winning a race this year. Now, granted, I haven't paid the closest attention to trucks this year up until now, because I've been paying more attention to ARCA. But didn't he win a race this year? He is winless. Okay. Was it last year he won a race? Hey, Casey. So it was last year that he won a race then. I do remember a recent win of his. I know it's not been that long since he's won a race. Okay, no, you are correct. He did not win a race this year. He's the only one in the championship four that hasn't won a race. It wouldn't be the first time he's won under this format and hasn't won a race. So, yeah, that wouldn't surprise it. That's what it is last year at Kansas. See, 2020 and 2021 just kind of all merged together in my head, and they all seem like the same year. That's right. He won it over Eckes. That's right. Yep. I don't know about all that, Casey. I don't know. I ain't getting in the middle of that. Good run today for Tanner Gray, though. Ended up P3. I know Dibsland's going to be happy about that one. And a good solid top 5 for Chandler Smith. Unfortunately, he was so far out that didn't really do anything for him. He was definitely in a must-win situation. Parker Kligerman even ended up getting in, I think, multiple cautions, didn't he? I think he was in at least one. I think there was more than one caution he was involved in, and still came back for a 6th-place finish. So kudos to Parker Kligerman. I don't think he gets enough credit. Parker Kligerman is a fantastic driver, and hopefully we see some more of him in the future. And a good run for Taylor Gray. I think I'm going to have to double check because I just thought of this just now. Is that Taylor's best truck finish? I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. Kligerman was in 2 or 3. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Both Tanner and Taylor finished top 10 because becoming the first pair of brothers to get top 10. Is that right? Is that just for the truck series? It is Taylor's best truck finish. Okay. Didn't Ward and Jeff Burton finish top 10 in the same race at some point? Or Bobby and Terry? That has to just be a truck series thing, right? Because I don't... I know Bobby and Terry or Ward and Jeff had to be in the top 10 at some point. That has to just be truck series. Yeah, and the Bush brothers. So that has to just be a truck series thing. Timmy Hill with the top 10 too also. So good run for Timmy Hill in 10th. Corey Heim had a good day as well. Unfortunately, he had some incidents on the day. He was in a couple as well and still fought back to 11th. So not as bad as it could have been. Was I the only one that looked at Corey's truck and thought of a Nilla wafer? Maybe that's just because I'm fat, but that's what I kept thinking of when I looked at Corey's truck. It looked like a Nilla wafer. But yeah, that was a good scheme. I just thought of Nilla wafers. Oh, pedigree too, yeah. I don't know. Just looking down on it, like from the aerial view, it just looked like a Nilla wafer. Unfortunately, Carson Hocevar had a good run too, and that unfortunately got brought to an end later in the race. Still bounced back to 12th, but not good enough to get to the championship four. Oh, well, that's an interesting thing to think of, Barney. That did not cross my mind. I don't know about that. Computer company revised. Okay. You know, I didn't say... I mean, look at the color. Don't tell me that's not Nilla wafer yellow. Don't tell me that's not Nilla wafer yellow. I stand by it. I stand by being fat, and I stand by that Corey Heim's truck looked like a Nilla wafer. Stop eating computers. I'll eat whatever I want to eat. Don't fat shame me. Todd Gilliland won both stages, and then unfortunately had the incident at the white flag and ended up in 25th. Corey was in the 51 truck. Thoughts on the 2022 ARCA schedule? I don't think there was enough changes. I think they left some tracks on there that they shouldn't have. Might talk more about that at some other point, but that's all I'm going to get into that tonight. There was definitely some tracks that should have been left off and weren't, and there were some tracks that were left off that should have been on there. Incredible speed and the dumbest... That seems pretty normal for Todd Gilliland at this point. What happened to Chase Purdy? I see he's down here in 44th and only ran 33 laps. It's got him listed for status as rear gear. Was there something more to it, or did he just park it after 33 laps? 44th. Did I say 44th? You know what I meant. Spencer Boyd. We're not to Xfinity yet, Casey. We ain't got anything to talk about with Spencer Boyd just yet. Was he even in the truck race? Yes, he was. He finished 15th. Did I did not say 44th. I don't know what you're talking about. Burned a rear gear. Truck was leaking fluid. Well, that sucks. He's got, I guess, one race left in that truck for now, so maybe he can do something at Phoenix. I disagree. I did not say that. I don't know what you're talking about. Is he full-time for Young's? I thought he was part-time. I didn't think he was running every race for them. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so don't really have to look at the points because the it's a Nilla wafer. I'm telling you, that's what it is. It's a Nilla wafer. Yeah, don't really have to look at points. Championship 4 are really the only ones that matter at this point. We already talked about them. So let's talk about the Xfinity race. That was a wild one, and I have some thoughts on that because Boyd has failed. Oh, interesting. Okay. I do not remember him failing to qualify for those races. But we all know how my memory is, so, you know, that it is what it is. I'd like to get this channel built up enough to where I can I can employ a stats guy, so I don't have to think about things, and I can just have them feed me all this information, because we know how my memory is. It's terrible, and I don't remember anything. Okay, Xfinity race. This one had one less caution than the truck race. I can't pay you, Robert. I can't even pay myself yet. There's $5 a month coming in from this channel. By the way, William Holmes, if you're watching, really appreciate you on Patreon. But that is the only money coming in on this channel yet. So I can't pay you because I can't hardly pay myself at the moment. Yeah, you guys pretty much are. And I'm glad you don't ask for money because I have none to give you. So I appreciate the volunteerism that all of you are here for. This was quite the wild Xfinity race. Noah Gragson picks up the win in a must-win situation, moves on to the playoffs. Kudos to Noah Gragson. Fantastic run tonight. Maybe the best drive I've ever seen out of him, period. Xfinity, trucks, ARCA, anything. I think that's the best drive, best one single race I've ever seen out of Noah Gragson. He was not going to let that go. Now, there was that run up until about 10 to go where he was kind of letting Hemrick go, but I think that was a strategic move because I think he knew that the chances were likely. Yes, we're talking Xfinity now, Landon. I think that he knew the chances were very likely that there was going to be another caution. So I think he was just letting Hemrick go because he knew he'd have another chance to fight him on a restart, and that's exactly what happened. And it worked out very well in Gragson's favor. I was very impressed he was able to make that work on the outside on that restart. I really didn't think that was going to work for him, and he made it work. So, good job, Noah Gragson. Very, very good restart. I was a little disappointed in Austin Cindric on the final lap because, yes, he raced him clean, and I understand why he raced him clean, because Cindric already knew he was locked in. He knew what Gragson was racing for, so he was trying to race him as clean as possible. But at the same time, you're racing for a win at Martinsville and a grandfather clock, and Cindric has said multiple times in the past week or so that he really wants a grandfather clock, so I'm surprised he didn't try a little harder there on the last lap, especially when Gragson just kind of gave him the bottom in 3 and 4 coming to the checkers. I'm really surprised Cindric didn't make some sort of contact there. He did keep it pretty clean though, so I'll give him kudos for that. But keeping it clean gave him a second place run. Yeah, exactly. And now he's got a race against Gregson in the championship 4. So the thing is, though, that may have been a strategic move on his part as well, knowing I don't know how much info they fed to him over the radio, but there's a possibility he knew that if Gregson didn't win, that meant Allgaier was in. And Allgaier, I'm pretty sure, is better at Phoenix than Gregson is. So that may have been a strategic move on Cindric's part, letting Gregson into the championship 4. That way, he's got slightly less competition out of him than he would out of Allgaier, if that makes sense. Who is the championship 4, Ashton? It is Noah Gragson, Austin Cindric, Daniel Hemrick, and who was the other one? Why am I forgetting? Allmendinger, AJ Allmendinger. That is the championship 4 for Xfinity. Hemrick let another one slip away. Now, granted, if the Justin Haley caution with 10 to go hadn't happened, I don't think there's any question he was probably going to win this race unless something weird happened. But the Haley caution did happen, and he let Gragson pass him on the outside. This seems to be a reoccurring theme with Hemrick. Hemrick seems to be a reoccurring theme with him. What's going to be really interesting is if he goes out and wins the championship at Phoenix next week, but doesn't win the race. Like, say, who's in the 54 car next week? Is it Ty Gibbs again? Say Ty Gibbs goes out and wins the race. Hemrick finishes second and wins the championship. That would be the most... it's Nemechek? Okay, well, that makes sense, too. Nemechek goes out and wins at Phoenix. Hemrick finishes second, wins the championship. That would be the most Hemrick thing I've ever seen in my life. And it would make so much sense with the way Daniel Hemrick's career has gone up to this point. It's amazing how he can be that consistent without winning a race and make it into the championship 4. But it's not the first time we've seen somebody do that. Crafton went out and won a Truck Series championship a couple years ago and never won a race. Newman almost did it in 2014. Why is Gibbs in ARCA West? I don't know. Because they wanted him to be in ARCA West. I have no idea. No wins but a championship. Yeah, that would definitely be a Hemrick thing to do. I have 2 fourth drivers that are in the championship for Cindric and Allmendinger. Nice. Yeah, I feel like there's a decent possibility. Yeah, 36 cars for the Phoenix ARCA West race. That is absolutely crazy. I believe that's the biggest ARCA field we've had all season, isn't it? My nose continues to itch, and I'm trying not to itch it so much because that just looks weird on camera, but I can't get it to stop itching. So don't mind me. I'm going to try to get my nose to stop itching here. Bear with me here. Yes, 6. I think it's mostly a 5-car battle. Technically, there's a 6th car that can win it, but it's mostly 5 cars. Shout out to Sam Mayer. Great run for him today as well in 4th. He's finally seems to be coming to life in Xfinity. It took him a little bit longer to get acclimated to Xfinity than it did for Ty Gibbs, but I think we're going to see a good Ty Gibbs-Sam Mayer battle next year now that Mayer seems to be getting acclimated to Xfinity. I think it's going to be very similar to what we saw out of them in ARCA. Mayer came back and exactly. It took him a bit to get acclimated to Xfinity, but I think he's finally getting there. And now that he's got these races under his belt this year, I think we're going to see the Sam Mayer that we saw in ARCA. I think we're going to see that Sam Mayer next year. Now that he's got the kinks worked out and he's used to the Xfinity cars, I think we're going to see a much better Sam Mayer in 2022. Justin Allgaier, top 5 run, unfortunately not enough. Barely missing out. I think it was, what was it, 5-6 points that he missed Hemrick by, so it was very, very close, and unfortunately just not enough. Brandon Jones also missing out with a 6th place run. Allmendinger's 7th place run was good enough to advance after some stage points. Great top 10 runs, though, for Alex LeBay and Jeremy Clements as well in 8th and 9th, and Riley Herbst also in the top 10 and 10th. Just barely beating out Josh Williams. Josh Williams was in the top 10 late as well, and apparently Riley snuck by him there late. I really like the pumpkin car that Josh Williams was rocking tonight. Too bad he couldn't get that in the top 10 at the end. Good run as well, though, for Landon Castle there in 12th. Top 15s for Colin Garrett and Joe Graff. J.J. Yaley putting a Rick Ware car in 16th. Got lots of good stories here in the top 20. Brett Moffitt a little bit off, though, in 19th. Good run for Natalie Decker in 25th. I know 25th doesn't sound like a good run, but not far off of her teammate, Brett Moffitt. So, and the fact that she was on the lead lap. So, do want to give a shout out there because I feel like the fact that she wasn't far off of Brett Moffitt shows that she was at least being competitive with her teammate, which shows that she was at least where that car should be for the most part. DGM getting creative. Yes, they are. Oh, that's right. LeBay did have a vampire paint scheme, didn't he? And what was it? Justin Haley, didn't he have Frankenstein? There was a lot of Halloween cars in there. I'm surprised. We usually don't have that many Halloween cars. Do we have any for the Cup race? Oh, it was a Wolverine car. Okay. I just thought it was a pumpkin because it was all orange. Yeah, Harrison did really get screwed by Spencer Boyd. Cale Conley? Is it bad that I don't even remember the name Cale Conley? Oh, yeah, KFB's Eminem's Halloween car. Is it the same Halloween car he's had for the past couple of years? Akinori Ogata in 26th. Was that his... That had to be his Xfinity debut, wasn't it? I don't remember him ever being in an Xfinity race before. I know he's had the truck starts with Rayoum Brothers lately, but I don't know that he's been in an Xfinity race. That's true. JGR is not creative with their schemes. They're not even creative with throwbacks. Ty Gibbs led a lot late in this race, 3rd in stage 2, and unfortunately got in that spin late. Was it Gregson that got in the back of him? I think it was Gregson. And he ended up in 27th. I did see that he was not happy with Gregson after that. I don't know what actually came of that. Staying out late at Homestead 2016 cost Eric Jones the championship. Okay. Spencer Boyd all the way back in 30th. He tried. He really tried for a good finish late on that late restart, and unfortunately that didn't quite work out for him there in 30th. Justin Haley, 33rd. He was, some people would say the reason Daniel Hemrick didn't win this race, and probably why Daniel Hemrick would say he didn't win this race. Oh, that's right. Next week isn't that final race, isn't it? Speaking of Michael Annett, not a great night down in the 38th position. Jeb Burton also down in 37th. They were the same incident, weren't they? I'm trying to remember. I've got 2 races to remember through today. And I do believe Jeb Burton and Michael Annett were the same incident, I think. You know how my memory is. We've gone over this. I don't know that he's going to run any more races at all. I don't think he's just done with full time. I think he's done, period. I think once he finishes the race at Phoenix next week, I think he's done completely in the 30s. I think you're thinking of Cale Gale is who you're thinking of, Ashton. Because Cale Gale ran some races for KHI there for a while, and I think was pretty good if I remember right. Oh, wait, why? It's not even dead. It's on. Why? That's weird. Okay. So we had the same thing as the last post-race show, except that it wasn't actually it's still on. I don't know why it did that. That was weird, but okay. But I think we're about done anyway. I don't know that we have much else to talk about. Before we go though, let's make predictions. Truck Series Championship 4. Leave them in the chat. Who wins the Truck Series Championship next week? Zane Smith, Ben Rhodes, Matt Crafton, or John Hunter Nemechek? Moffat Cast says John Hunter Nemechek. Cindric for Xfinity, Cup Larson. Barney says Nemechek. Yeah, I honestly, I think you're all right. Robert says Nemechek as well. I think you're all right. I think you're all right. Oh, yeah, Arca West, too. Pedroncelli, interesting choice. That is an interesting choice. Why? Why are we doing this? No, get back into position. We're almost done. Calm down. Calm down, Gimbal. Okay, so I'm just gonna make my predictions, and we're gonna get out of here before the Gimbal has another fit. Nemechek wins trucks. Why? Why? Why are we doing this? Why? I don't get it. Okay. Nemechek wins trucks. Cindric wins Xfinity. We're gonna might do a Cup post-race show tomorrow, so I'm not gonna make a Cup prediction just yet. Arca West, I think, is Jesse Love. Okay, so thanks for hanging out, y'all. We're gonna try to get out of here before the Gimbal does its thing again. And those of you on the personal channel, we will see you tomorrow for the surprise stream for Halloween. And we'll see those of you that are just on here on RNN. We'll see you back on Tuesday for iRacing Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. We'll see you when we see you. Peace.